just want to take the time off to say thank you to those that have been trying to, get me through with what I'm going through. But I just want to let you guys know that you can't rescue something that don't want to be rescued. So, thank you. Bye. So what you guys just finished watching was the post I had on Instagram, on Snapchat, on my social medias when I attempted to commit suicide. It's a really long story. I think it's been like 4 or 5 weeks since I made a video, but I felt like it was just time for me to talk about this. Well, before it got to the moment where I posted the video, I was just going through a lot, and to this day I still am. Depression is something not to be played with, especially suicidal thoughts. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys not to do what you guys want to do. Me personally, I'm going to get a lot of crap for this. But if you're suicidal and you're going through depression and you feel like ending your life is the way you want to go, by all means, do what you got to do. Like, I know it sounds harsh, but I'm going through it. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who it is. I don't care what they say. I'm going to do what I want to do. And no one's going to stop me from doing it. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I have come to an agreement with my demon. And my demon is my depression. And I'm giving myself 5 more years. And the reason why is because I love my dog. You guys have seen her. If you know me personally, you guys know how I feel about my dog. And my dog is my world. My dog is my daughter. My dog is what the therapist likes to call my anchor. And she's the one that's keeping me from drowning. She's the one that's keeping me from blowing out my brains, at least for the moment. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I don't know how old my dog is. I don't know if she's 6. I don't know if she's 5 years old. But she's halfway from her life journey. And when my dog goes, when it's time for my dog to go, I'm gonna go too, because I don't know if I'm going through this and I feel like my dog is the only one that's keeping me from, committing the thoughts that cross my mind. I can't imagine how it's gonna be without her being here. That's just my opinion to everybody. That's just my thoughts. And I have messed up thoughts. With all due respect, I'm just fucked up. What ended up happening that night that I posted that video, in my mind, I'm like, my way of saying goodbye. And that's probably gonna be my way of saying goodbye 5, 6 years from now, to be honest. Like, a lot of people thought that it was my way of, like, trying to reach for help, trying to get Instagram likes or stuff like that, or get the attention of others, but it's not even like that. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me, to be honest. What ended up happening that the night that I posted that, once I posted it, a lot of people were blowing up my phone. My good friend Paul, my good friend Ceballos, and a few people that didn't reach out to me at that moment. For example, my good friend Danny, real close friend that I love her with all my heart. Her name is Jackie. All 4 of you guys, and there's a few that, I'm not gonna mention, because all those 4 people, like, I love you guys. I care about you guys, and I have much respect, care, love for you guys. But I had turned off my phone. In my mind, I'm thinking, like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? And I was going through thoughts that I was just gonna I was just gonna hang myself in Montrose Beach. Um, and in the morning, you know, people were gonna find me. It was like around probably like one, 2 in the morning when I posted this. I'm not sure. I don't recall, but it was really late. Um, so I'm not gonna go out the coward way. The day that I decide to go out, I'm not gonna go out by hanging myself or doing it alone. At least me personally, I'm gonna have someone to do it for me. As fucked up as that sounds, I know. And this video might get demonetized because of my expression towards this. And if it does, I'll repost it and that's it. I don't care what YouTube has to say about this. At that moment, I'm just like my demon was just taking control of me, and I had given up. Um, so whatever it was telling me to do, I was just doing it. So I get in the highway, I get in the expressway, and I'm driving. I'm driving down Lakeshore Drive, and I'm asking myself this question, like, how am I gonna do it? How am I going out? My foot just started pressing on the gas pedal, and before you know it, I was going 120 miles per hour down Lakeshore Drive. And if you've been through to Lakeshore Drive, you know before you get to Navy Pier or close to Grand, it does a little loop. Um, and I saw that probably like 2 miles away, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm ramming my truck into the barricade, and that's it. I'm not taking no one with me. It's just gonna be myself. It's funny how things actually work because everything just felt like I don't know how to explain it. Like it was just me down Lakeshore Drive. Like if you live in Chicago and you've been down Lakeshore Drive like around, doesn't matter what time of the day or at night, there's always cars there. And there was cars all the way to the back, and there was cars all the way to the front. Where I was at, there was no cars. And this is like a really busy street or highway or whatever. As I'm speeding up or whatever, and I'm seeing the barricade closer and closer, like I'm just telling myself like this is it. Like I'm done. This is how I go. If you have a car, the sun thingy that you pull down when the sun's like in your face or whatever, I forgot what it's called, the visor or something like that, the sun visor or whatever. When my Pontiac got totaled, my mom had given me a Virgin Mary pamphlet, and when I got the Murano, I didn't want to throw it away because to me I'm Mexican, and I find that disrespectful. Not only because my mom gave it to me, but because it was something religious, and I'm not the most religious person out here. I I, I believe in God, and but I also believe in Lucifer and Satan or whatever. That doesn't make me a Satanist or anything like that. So as I'm getting closer to the barricade, the sun visor or whatever goes down, and I look at the Virgin Mary, and I felt this warmth in my heart that just told me just to stop, and I pressed on the fucking brakes, and my car was getting out of control, but I managed to control it, and I parked on the side. The cars were just coming, honking at me, you know, because I was still in the road, but I was in my adrenaline was so high that, like, I didn't care. So after that, at that moment, I realized that, holy crap, like, this is something serious. Not a lot of people understand what depression is. Not a lot of people know what suicide is. A lot of people think that this is a choice, that you choose to be sad, that you choose to let things get to you. I'm not the best drawer out there, but I like to draw here and there. And in my mind, I'm like, how can I let people know what depression is, or how can I describe it to them without words? And I came up with this. This is my demon, or at least this is what I see when I go through stuff like this. I feel like everything around me is always dark, and this is always under a light, and that's what's been following me since I was 11. When I started gang banging, when I almost got shot, when I almost got killed. This is what I see, and this has been with me to this day. This is what tells me that I should, do what I want to do, and that's, well, whatever. So, depression. Depression to me is this. I don't know if you guys can really see or anything, but you guys talk about that depression is a choice, that I choose to think like this, that I choose to let this get to me. You guys, I'm gonna try my best to explain this. Of course, this is me, and this thing, figure here, is what's always, no matter how, no matter how fast, how far I try to run from this, it catches up to me, and it just takes control of me. No matter how happy I am, like, I can be really happy. I can be with with the person that makes me so happy, and I found her. Um, she makes me so happy. She makes every time I'm with her, like I always feel happy. Like I feel joy. But when this decides, like, hey, like I'm here to visit you, it stops me from being happy. And it's not because I choose to let it bring me down. And it's not because I choose to let it get to me. It's just the way I see it. If you've never been depressed, if you've never reached this point, because I know a lot of people go through this. I know a lot of people face depression. And I know a lot of people deal with it. A lot of people are stronger than me, mentally, physically. I'm just not as strong as you guys think I am. But I've made it this far, so I gotta give myself credit for that. Um, but, when I decide that the time is right for me not to be here, I really hope you guys respect that.